All right, it's been a busy day today, but we're gonna set aside a few minutes to take a look at this dryer. This is a front load LG dryer that when we turn it on is making a really loud thumping noise. So if you have a front load LG dryer and it sounds like that, then you are definitely in the right place. Spend a few minutes with me. We'll take it apart. I'll show you exactly what's wrong and how to fix it and then put it back together. All right, we're going to start by taking the lid off. And to do that, we're going to remove 3 screws and they're going to be underneath this lip down here. There's one on the left, one in the middle, and one on the right hand side. And then you'll come to the front and just put your hands on the corners of the lid and push it backwards a couple inches, and then you can pull it up and take it off. Now we're going to remove the 2 screws that hold the control panel in place. So we have one right here and one over here. If your dryer has a drawer up here on the front that holds the water container for the steam cycles, then you'll only have 1 screw to take out, and that'll be this one over here. It will not have one on this side. And you want to go ahead and you want to disconnect all the wires that run to your computer board right here. Once you've done that, you can remove the user interface board. And if you just take the tips of your fingers and work them across the top of it, it should pop off just like that. But if you are having a difficult time with it and it's being a little bit stubborn, you can take a flathead screwdriver and you can work it up underneath the plastic, in between the plastic and the metal, like this, and just go all the way across, popping it up until it loosens it, and then you can pull it off. You want to remove your lint filter, as well as these 2 screws right here. Next, we're going to take this front panel off and we're going to remove the 4 screws that hold it in place here, 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 and here. You can lean the front panel towards you and then just look over the top right here and there will be a wire that runs to the door switch. You want to just disconnect that and then you can take the panel off and set it off to the side. Next is going to be this metal panel right here. It's got 4 screws that hold it in place, one on both sides here, and then up top there's one on both sides as well. Once you've got those out, this just lifts up and pulls off. And then if you have this box right here, this has the bulb for the drum light. You'll just disconnect the wire that runs to it. And then take your wire harness and just kind of set everything over the side of the machine. Next, we're going to take off this panel. And to do that, we're going to remove 4 screws. One here, 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 and here. We want to remove this container right here. This is the container that houses the lint filter. There's a screw here as well as one over here. And once you've got those out, you can just pull down on this. You do want to take a look inside of there. And if it's got a bunch of lint like this one does, go ahead and vacuum that out. All of this is going to contribute to a restriction of airflow, which is going to help cause long dry times. And then last, before we take this panel off, there's a wire running down here. You want to unclip that. That's the wire that runs to your moisture sensor bars. We can take off this front panel, and to do that, you're just going to grab it right here. You're going to lift up and then pull out towards you. Now that we've got this off, you want to check the rollers. The chances are that thumping that we were hearing was caused by flat spots on the rollers. So we'll take a closer look at these. And this one seems to be good. It is spinning perfectly fine and it doesn't have any flat spots on it. We come to this one and you can see this is exactly what I was talking about. Okay, it spins a little bit slower, not as freely, and it has that flat spot. So how did we get here? Okay, the answer is simple. This right here is the shaft that the roller sits on. I'm going to pull this little plastic peg off. That triangular plastic piece holds the wheel in place. And pull this off. So what is happening is over time, this shaft will get gunked up with all kinds of lint and usually hair. And when that happens, your wheel can't spin freely like it's supposed to. And in some cases, it completely stops. It just locks up. When it locks up, the drum continues to spin And instead of the wheel spinning as the drum is spinning, it just stays stationary. The wheel ends up creating a flat spot on the roller. Now, eventually the wheel might free up ever so slightly and slowly make turns. And that's where you're hearing the thumping. As this is spinning, every time it gets to the upright position like this and the drum touches it, it creates the thumping noise. So we're definitely gonna have to go ahead and replace this one. Now we're gonna take the drum out to check the rollers in the back of the machine. And to do that, I need to take the belt off of the pulley and the motor. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you in the back so that you can see what I'm doing with my hands while I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reach in with both hands here. And what I'm looking for is I'm gonna grab the pulley right here with my left hand, and I'm just gonna pull it backwards. I'll hold it in place with my right hand and try to slip the belt off of it like that. All right, now we can go ahead and pull the drum out. I'll usually just pull this drum forward while I pull the belt backwards. Like that. And this is what the inside of your machine looks like. As you can see, there's a lot of lint. And part of the reason for that is because of that roller. So that roller having a flat spot on it, every time it hits, it's causing the drum to wobble a little bit. And when it wobbles, it creates a gap in between where the drum meets one of these panels, whether it's in the front or the back. And that gap will allow lint from your clothes to get down into the bottom of the machine, and it'll build up on top of the heating element. So we're gonna go ahead and get that all cleaned up. This roller seems to be spinning perfectly fine, and it has no flat spots, as well as this one. So we're just going to go ahead and replace the one that was in the front, and I'll put a link for the rollers in the description. You can buy them individually, but it's usually a better deal to buy them in a pack of 4. So if you want, you can just replace the one that is bad, or since you've got it open, if you feel more comfortable just replacing all of them, you can do that as well. Now that we've got this shaft cleaned off, we can go ahead and put the new roller on and then re-secure it with the triangular plastic holder. So we've got the machine cleaned out already, and as far as the repair goes, we're done. So now it's just a matter of putting it back together. We're going to reinstall the drum. Now, it doesn't matter which way the drum goes. There is no front or back, so either way is fine. And you just want to take your belt and slip it over, put it about halfway down the tub. Each side of this belt is different. One side is going to be smooth and one side is going to have ridges. You want to make sure that the smooth side is facing you and the side with the ridges is actually touching the drum. And then you just use the belt to lift up and guide it into place. And then I need to re-secure the belt to the pulley and the motor. And to do that, I'm going to put you in the back so I can show you exactly what my hands are doing. So now we're going to put the belt back around the pulley and the motor. So I'll reach in and show you here. Grab the belt. Make sure that the belt on this side is over the pulley. And then over here, you're going to wrap it around the motor and then pull it to your right and then lift up on the pulley. Make it go to the left and then just slip the belt over the pulley. Now that we've got the drum back in there, we want to put this panel back on. And then there are 2 metal tabs on each side of this panel here and then on this side as well. And those are going to go inside these holes right here. So if you just grab it right about here and rest that inside the drum, and you can pull up on it and get one of those in, and then do the other side, get the second one in, and then you want to spin the drum clockwise with your hand until you hear a thumping noise, which will be the drum actually laying to rest on the rollers in the front. Like that. And then for the bottom tabs, you can just pull up a little bit and get them in the holes, and then just screw it back in. Put your canister back on. You can pop your lint filter back in there and reconnect the clip for the moisture sensor, as well as bringing in the plug that goes to the drum light and plugging it back in. Next will be our metal panel. And if you look on the back side of it, it's actually got a little hook right here and another metal hook right here. And those will go right inside these slits. And then you can screw that back in. And then you want to make sure that you feed the wire for the door switch down through the front like this and just let it rest right there. We can put the front panel back on and just make sure that you reclip the wire that goes to the door switch. And you can screw it back in. Pop your control panel back on. And then you can plug all the wires back in. This one has 5 total. Yours might be a little bit different. Each one of these wires, though, it will only go to the place that it's supposed to go. So you don't really have to worry about mixing them up. They will only fit, like I said, they'll only fit where they're supposed to. And then also don't forget about putting these screws back in place. And then you can pop your lid back on. Push it forward and screw it back in. Okay, I'm going to try to get as much of this in the video as I can. Sorry, there is not a lot of room in here today. It has been super busy and I am almost completely full. So we're going to go ahead and turn it back on and see if what we did actually fixed the problem. So it sounds great. It sounds like everything is working perfectly. Hopefully, if you followed along this process while working on your machine as well, then yours is doing the same and you are back up and running. If for some reason you're still having a problem with your machine or you got hung up somewhere along the way, then please, by all means, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section and I'll do my best to get back to you in a timely manner. I love working with you guys one-on-one, and recently there's been a relatively large uptick in the engagement that I'm having on my videos. Thank you so much for that. I really love teaching people how to work on their own machines and to be able to save some money and not have to call a technician to do it. And it doesn't have to be about this specific problem. If you have a question about anything, you can leave a comment in any one of my videos and I'll do my best to get back to you and help you out. So that's it for this one. We'll catch you next time.